welcome back to the show. And now we're actually going to be talking about if you're ready to adjust to all of these changes that are happening across the United Kingdom. All right. Now we know that there's so many changes taking place after the pandemic, after post Brexit. Obviously, there are so many things that are currently changing here in the United Kingdom. So today we're going to talk about all of those changes and if we're actually ready to change or ready to adjust to all of these changes that are currently taking place. All right. So that is what the conversation is about. And now let's actually head into a conversation. But before we do that, I want to very quickly remind you that you can in fact be a part of the show. All you need to do is just text me or call me on 078-52473-473. Share your thoughts, share your opinions, and let me know what exactly you feel about this. All right. But before we actually head into that conversation, I want to very quickly talk to you about if you think whether coronavirus is actually on the rise again. All right. Now, to put it very simply, let's talk about coronavirus. Let's talk about all of the things that have happened here in England and, the rest of the United Kingdom as well with regard for us to actually think why these coronavirus cases are on the rise. Now, like I said, so many times before, it's obviously not unexpected or it's not a surprise that there is in fact a rise in coronavirus cases, right? And this is obviously because in the past few days and the past month as well, we've seen how many changes actually took place, right? We opened up our country. We essentially eased lockdown. We lifted the lockdown. We eased the restrictions. Then we had Scotland opening up. We had people getting vaccinated. We had music festivals. So all of these things basically happened, right? And with all of that, we also had rules that said, we basically had statements that were issued that said, look, it's no longer necessary for you to wear masks. It's no longer necessary for you to take those certain steps and whatnot. So obviously, when all of those things were going about and people were like, oh, we don't have to wear masks and whatnot. People were actually at risk. Even though you're fully vaccinated, you can still contract the virus. All right. So basically what happened is because of all of these changes that happened, that the coronavirus cases have actually been on the rise because deaths from COVID-19 right now are actually averaging 100 a day across the United Kingdom, right? And even in terms of infections, we've seen that so many people are testing positive, that the peak or rather the curve is in fact just increasing and not really reducing because of all of these changes that are going to take place. And obviously with school starting next week, that's going to get even greater, like things are going to get much worse as soon as school starts, because again we'll see rising infections. All right, now make sure to stay tuned because we're actually going to head into a small break, and after that we will be back to discuss all of this. So obviously, until then, make sure that you stay tuned.
Are you looking to achieve the most relevant qualification to kickstart your career? Then reward yourself with the best globally recognized professional business qualification, CIMA. Irrespective of the field you aspire to succeed in, a CIMA qualification can add immense value to your resume and professional life. Succeed in your CIMA journey with supportive tuition provided by qualified lecturers and resources. Nanaska is the leading registered CIMA tuition provider in Sri Lanka with over a decade in the industry and hundreds of success stories. With qualified and certified tutors, Nanaska now provides easy access 100% virtual classes so that you could succeed at your exams and in life right from the comfort of your home. At Nanaska, it's not just about a qualification. We help you think out of the box and build a personality. Exciting offers also await students overseas. Enroll now. Call +94 77 499 7338 or visit www.nanaska.com. Commence your CIMA journey at Nanaska and become a globally recognized leader. Nanaska, smile with results.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. It is Sarah right here on Relaks Radio, and it's almost the final few minutes of the second hour of the show, but don't worry because I'm here to keep you company all the way until 9 a.m. because we're going to be having, a lot of interesting and important conversation as well with regard to all of these changes that are taking place across the United Kingdom. Okay, so don't forget to actually share your thoughts and share your opinions with me, and be a part of the show, because all you need to do is just text me or call me on 078-524-73473. And also, don't forget to go like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and actually, subscribe to our YouTube as well, while also downloading our app, which is available completely for free on both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store as well. Okay, now obviously right now we're going to be talking about how all of these changes are happening across the United Kingdom. All right, but now let's actually talk about how thousands of homes could actually soon be warmed by heat from giant electricity grid transformers as part of this new plan to actually harness something that is referred to as waste heat, and also to cut down carbon emissions from home heating. All right, so trials are actually about to begin or due to begin on how to capture the heat that is generated by transmission network transformers, which are actually owned by the national grid, right? And this is essentially to provide home heating for households that are connected to district heating networks that are operated by SSE. Okay, now what that could possibly mean is that if this trial succeeds, about 1,300 national grid substations could actually act as neighborhood boilers, where you basically pipe in water heated by the substations into nearby heating networks and on into the thousands of homes that actually use SSE services. All right, so basically that is, one of the changes that are happening. And another change that is happening, obviously, is that there are restaurants across the United Kingdom like McDonald's, KFC, Nando's that are actually running out of items on their menu because of the fact that there is a shortage. All right, so basically McDonald's has run out of milkshakes, and Nando's has run out of chicken, and because of that, that has actually resulted in a lot of these companies having to shut down, or shut down a certain amount of their outlets to essentially make sure that they could that they could function, right? Because they weren't able to function with a shortage in food. So basically they've apologized for any of the inconvenience caused, but most of these shortages is actually because of the post Brexit immigration rules, and also because of the pandemic, right? COVID-19 restrictions have basically changed so much of things, and obviously, when we have the NHS COVID-19 app, and a lot of people were using it at that point, and people were getting pinged often, they were actually required to stay at home, right? So things like milkshakes are actually off the menu at McDonald's, and even some in other restaurants like KFC and Nando's, they've actually had to take off some of the items off the menu, and they've also been unable to stock some items or raw material, raw ingredients actually that are required to make it, because these raw materials are in fact much expensive than it used to be. So it's not just and it's not even these multinational companies like KFC or McDonald's. It's even smaller home-based businesses like bakeries or cell phone businesses that are facing this, because there has been significant increases in the prices of the raw materials that are used that are essentially used to make certain products. All right, now make sure you stay tuned, because I will be back in a few minutes to talk to you about how the NHS actually is going to be offering heart checkups for over 40s, right? And we'll also be talking about a little bit about domestic violence as well, so make sure to stay tuned, because all of that will be coming up in the next hour. But I will be back in a few minutes, so until then, make sure